Ark Raiders, 10 important tips for hunting other players. Become a pro player. Ark Raiders throws you onto a surface where robots, players, storms, and noise punish every mistake. Mastering the game means understanding how each system reacts, from sound propagation to loot distribution. These 10 tips focus on the parts the game doesn't explain clearly, especially the behaviors that shape encounters with both Raiders and Ark units. If you want to stay alive longer, win more often, and make smarter decisions under pressure, these are the fundamentals you need to absorb before dropping in. Noise determines every encounter. Before thinking about weapons or positioning, understand how sound flows across the map. Footsteps, sprinting bursts, sliding, and smashing containers all project in straight, clear directional lines. Security cameras, loose metal, wooden planks, gravel pockets, and alarmed crates amplify noise even further. Both Raiders and Ark units treat sound as a locator. Players shift towards disturbances by instinct. Robots follow audio triggers mechanically. If you reduce noise to crouch-level movement and avoid reactive terrain, you'll cut ambush risk dramatically and gain more opportunities to initiate fights on your terms. Your visual intent shapes player behavior. The way you appear to another player determines their response. A rifle held at ready height looks hostile. Standing behind someone without announcing presence looks predatory. Looting a body with no warning makes you appear dangerous. Dropping a quick "don't shoot" emote immediately signals neutrality. Helping a stranger escape arc pressure earns temporary trust. The first 3 seconds of visual communication decide whether the encounter becomes mutual extraction or a firefight. Manage posture, distance, and messaging, and you'll avoid most unnecessary engagements. Precise shots can break robot attack cycles. Ark airborne units like Hornets and Wasps operate on synchronized firing cycles. If you hit the propeller assembly just before their attack frames, they drift or spin out of alignment, which forces them to reset their targeting sequence. This buys seconds of safety, reduces damage intake, and keeps their formation broken. Grounded units like Rocketeers and Leapers don't stagger as easily, but smaller bots lose accuracy under concentrated fire. Targeting their weak points disrupts patterns, preventing them from executing clean volleys. Electromagnetic storms tilt fights in your favor. Storms appear chaotic, but they follow clear warning cues for players. Ark units lack that recognition. Lightning stuns them instantly and applies heavy damage on impact. Leapers lock up mid-pounce. Bastions lose stability. Rocketeers drop targeting. During storms, high-tier Ark enemies become loot dispensers because they can't adapt. You only need to monitor the pre-strike flash beneath your feet. Use the environment. Pull robots towards exposed ground, retreat from open metal surfaces, and chain stuns to clear large enemies you wouldn't normally challenge. Hiding works better than most players think. Breaking line of sight is more powerful than armor upgrades. Many locations contain deep shadow pockets, tight corners, and vegetation clusters that completely erase your silhouette once you stop moving. Bushes and heavy bracken hide full character models as long as you stay still. Structures in Stella Montis create maze-like interiors that confuse your pursuer's pathfinding. Injured characters may emit pain whimpers that give away position, so use healing items before committing to a hiding spot. With proper placement, you can vanish from someone standing only a few steps away. Timed explosives have one real job: flushing players out. Heavy fuse grenades and similar delayed explosives excel against Ark units because robots don't retreat from danger zones. They walk directly into predictable blast radii. Players react differently. Raiders sidestep, roll away, or sprint behind cover the moment the timer ticks. Impact-based explosives like snap blasts or light impact grenades perform better in PvP because they detonate instantly. Mines are even more effective in choke points. Use timed explosives to disrupt cover positions. not for direct damage, but to force opponents into open ground where rifles and DMRs dominate. Solo matches form a completely different player culture. Community behavior changes drastically between solo and squad modes. Solo lobbies trend toward non-aggression. Most players cooperate when arc threats appear, trade save passage with gestures, or simply ignore each other to focus on extraction. Squads create hostile friction. Teams assume enemies are preparing crossfires or ambushes. Loot competition increases. Routes overlap. Unspoken etiquette turns into opportunistic violence. Expect crossfire, third-party collapses, and long-range opening shots the moment you enter a multiplayer squad environment. Seemingly worthless loot is often critical later. Ark Raiders hides progression requirements inside ordinary junk. Items like lemons, cloth scraps, electrical wires, gears, and pillows link directly to quests, upgrades, or crafting chains. Many quests require specific combinations of minor objects that don't appear commonly despite looking mundane. Selling items too early can block progress or force long detours to recollect essentials. Keep one stash of questionable materials until you confirm each item's purpose. Evaluate rarity, quest links, and conversion value before clearing inventory. Cover is the foundation of every fight. Every major loss comes from standing in the open. Spaceport and other open field areas create sightlines that heavily favor Rocketeers, long-range raiders, and aerial arc attackers. Stamina drains when you perform extended dodge loops, and once your recovery window closes, projectile hits become guaranteed. Fight from buildings, low walls, crate stacks, shipping containers, rooftops, or natural stone elevations. Maintain at least one fallback route. Control angles so opponents can't flank easily. Sustained survival hinges on manipulating terrain advantage, not pure weapon skill. Loot-dense regions trigger conflict regardless of etiquette. Red zones, rare key rooms, and multi-chest sectors override every social rule in the game. High-tier loot attracts raiders from multiple routes at once. Key-locked rooms become traps by default because players camp the approach waiting for the opener. Central towers, elevated radar structures, and locked hangars frequently erupt into three-way or four-way firefights as soon as someone attempts entry. If you head into these locations, assume opponents are already nearby and watching. Prepare grenades, recheck stamina, and confirm escape paths before opening anything valuable. Ark Raiders rewards players who understand how sound, cover, storms, robots, and other raiders overlap to create unpredictable encounters. These 10 principles form the groundwork for long-term survival, whether you're moving solo or running squads through high-loot regions. Mastering stealth, noise control, combat spacing, and item value ensures you stay ahead of both Ark units and human opponents. With these fundamentals locked in, every extraction becomes cleaner, every fight becomes stronger, and each run into the surface gets a little more controlled.